Hey folks, Quill18 here, and welcome to Quill18 Tries Risk of Rain 2, finally. A game that came out about 5 years ago or so, but it's still very much a living game. A couple of expansions. The first one was really well received. The second one was considered to be kind of meh, but the developers are actively still working on developing the game. They've got a roadmap for improving the second expansion. Already, the reviews on Steam are starting to say, actually, the second expansion is looking pretty good right now. So this is a roguelite game that you can play solo or co-op with friends, which is the reason I started playing it. And by the way, I'm not very good at this, so I'm going to expect to get my butt kicked. The soldier syringe there might be worth doing some 3D printing for. We will see. Do I want to get lunar items? I don't know. Any of these items kind of sexy? Tell you what, we're going to get fireworks because they are entertaining. I'm not going to say that they're ideal, but we're going to do that. Okay, where's some bad guys? There's a timer going on in the top right corner, and the game will get harder as things progress. We're waiting for a wave of enemies to spawn so that I can kill them for gold, so I can get some items. Hello. Oh, that's nice. I think you're an elite here. So you'll be worth some extra money and extra XP, which is okay. Oh, one of them froze. Now, the thing with the Huntress is I don't think she's considered to be particularly higher tier. You know what? Maybe I should get a healing item. She's not considered to be particularly higher tier. I think in part because she has kind of a rough start. She has the lowest health and armor of most of the characters, or actually I think of all the characters. She has the lowest starting health and armor. And while her attacks scale up very well, they don't necessarily start off immediately impressive, which makes this start very difficult, and we're having an extra bad one. It doesn't help that we really haven't found much in the way of interesting loots to grab, considering we have some money to spend. A little disappointing. Let's take this little jump up here and see if this leads to anything. There we go. Okay. Let's open this chest up. So you get gold. All right, that's increased sprint speed, which is nice quality of life, but isn't going to help us kill things and survive more. Maybe I should have just gone and activated the teleporter immediately. Because if you're not doing things that are productive with your time, then it's better off to just accelerate things. Okay, doing damage heals me. All right, that's nice. We're not really increasing our damage. Okay, there's a scrapper there too, which is going to be interesting to consider. This is why I like the Huntress. The mobility is amazing. All right, I'm going to go ahead and activate this. But this is going to summon a boss. So we got to stay in the red radius around the teleporter to charge it. Once it gets to 100%, we can leave the level. But the boss does have to be dead, because while the boss is still alive, the teleporter won't charge past 99%. While you are charging the teleporter, loot objects get locked. You can still earn money, and during the teleporter phase, it does summon a lot of enemies. Although, apparently, the enemies that get summoned during the teleporter phase are worth less money in XP. Sort of an anti-farm mechanic here. Seems fairly reasonable. Up, do this. I do like the R for like good consistent AoE damage, but also helps to avoid some damage while you're floating up in the air here. The Huntress does have a lock-on with her attack ability too, so you don't have to aim quite as hard. On the other hand, there's a maximum range to lock on, and if you don't have a target locked on, then you actually can't attack or hurt them at all. Like, it just won't fire. Okay, that should be the end of the Beetle Queen. Good. Okay, what are teleport at? 79%. Okay. And when you do beat the boss, you do get an item which is guaranteed to be at least uncommon quality. So Bandolier resets cooldowns. Again, these aren't... I really haven't gotten much that's that useful here. I'm wondering if I should be scrapping some stuff before leaving the level. You know, I'll just leave. Okay, activating the teleporter. So that converted all my money into XP. Which is not as good, I'd say, as getting items, but let's boogie. So we're clearing this level in about 4 minutes. We're about halfway through the easy period on the timer. So we might be able to start the next boss on this level and still be on easy mode. Okay, so there's a chest over there, so I might just hang out in this general area. Sparkles over there, that's where the teleporter is. We got a luck shrine. We got a 3D printer for tougher times, which is, I believe, a bear that can shield us. So again, defensive things. Obviously, defensive stuff is good, but I really need some DPS enhancers here, which I don't have. The Chakram, when you fire it when there's just 2 enemies, is kind of sweet because it will just bounce back and forth between those 2. And really kick their ass. Okay, well, we fell off the level. Well, not all the way. If I fell off all the way, it would actually... I'm sorry, is that a newt? Ah. Cool. All right, well, you know what? It'll be a good opportunity to show that off, I guess. Although it will take me that much longer to get out of this area, which is non-ideal. Nice. Big old jump. Okay, there's a healing chest over here too, and the luck shrine. Okay. Clear these fools. Yeah, I really like the mobility of this character. Not every character has a mobility on their shift, on their utility tool. Which is fine, because they, you know, they have other things that's quite good. All right, come on. Spawn in some baddies. Sometimes you get like a never-ending swarm of them. And sometimes they just... I don't know if it's better to move around or wait. Like, I don't know if moving increases the odds of a spawn, or you might run into more. There's like no one around here. Come on. Well, we're going to be fighting the boss on medium, that's for sure. Seriously. Okay, that's the sound of someone coming in. Okay, and you are an elite, so you'll be worth some more. Well, I think you're an elite. You're tougher. And I don't know what, like, that little O symbol, if that's what that means, or if that's something else triggering. Okay, there we go. Tons of cash. Let's pop open this one. Let's go back for the healing item. Hello, armor-piercing rounds of extra damage to bosses. That's quite nice. What I really want is a crit item. Which I'm not going to get from the healing pod, but... I could play with the Shrine of Chance a little bit. I guess I may as well do the 30. Gain nothing, of course. Okay. I was going to say I'm going to move, but this guy might give me enough to try it again. Yeah. All right. Let's try. I got something this time. More healing orbs on kills, which, I mean, is fine. But I feel like we're getting all survivability items and not damage items. Now, as it turns out, it is hard to do damage when you're dead. But it's also hard to stay alive if you can never kill an enemy. Okay, you're pretty brutal here. For a second. Oh my god. Okay, you know what? I got all this healing, and yet, not really staying alive, am I? Yeah, keep dropping these health orbs for me, please. Come on. Die already. Now, it's hard to choose sometimes who I'm hitting because of the lock-on ability. It does prefer things that are closer. Is there someone else shooting me? Alright, let's pop back up here. This is just going to be some extra gold. We'll grab it. I don't see any loot behind me. I'm sure there's all sorts of tricks to, like, finding all sorts of, like, useful hidden stuff as you traverse the level. But I don't know what it is. There's an equipment canister, so let's pop that so we'll get something on our queue. Heal on use. All right, well, again, more healing, and is that useful? Roll of pennies gives you gold when you take damage. Okay, there's some lootables down there. We do have money, so I'm going to go that way. Very well handled. That is a scrapper. Okay, 91 bucks. Let's actually turn invisible at low health. Honestly, might be really useful. All right. Again, more survivability, but what I'm really worried about here is not being able to kill things quickly enough and just getting attrition down despite all of our healing. So that's just bouncing back and forth between those two, which is nice. Die. What's the cooldown on this? 45 seconds. Okay, well, that's not too bad. Is there something over here? Oh, is this just a jump pad? Whee! Which is a heck of a fun way to traverse the levels. Rewarded. Okay. Close range damage. I get the money, so I'll keep using this as a bit of a money sink here. Another focus crystal. All right, and then I think that's run out now. Teleporter. Any immediate lootables over here? What is this thing? Adaptive chest? Cost gold and will cycle through many items quickly. Interacting with the adaptive chest will drop the item currently displayed. Okay. Regen, health. Sure, I'll take the gasoline. So now when I kill enemies, it does light other nearby enemies on fire, which sounds kind of decent. Mocha for increased movement and attack speed. Nothing wrong with that. And we got a luck shrine over here. Now, when you activate the teleporter, it does lock all items. I think it's possible it doesn't lock items inside of its own radius. I might be wrong about that. But you seriously summon a minigunner? Those things deal so much damage. And I do have my my Q ready to heal. Although right now we are... No, I'll use it there. I'm going to say we are maintaining a half-decent health. Thanks to our other passive healing. Boom, boom. And yeah, every time we kill a normal enemy, it does set other nearby enemies on fire. Okay, well, there you go. That's dead. Do that. And killing the boss gave us a... Oh, we got a Beetle Guard pet, which I'll probably keep attack... Wait, what did I just activate here? Shrine of the Woods. Oh, for a healing radius. That is not what I meant. I thought it was a luck shrine. Oh, I guess I was just looking at this and misinterpreting it as a luck shrine. All right, well, now we just want to stay in the red radius to charge the teleporter. Right, that's the adaptive thing. Oh, we can get a lunar coin over here. Sure. I think lunar coins are actually one of the things that do persist between runs. I did leave the circle for a bit, which slowed the recharge time, but I guess that's going to have to be okay. Yeah, that's one of my items. These guys will occasionally drop those little things that reset all my cooldowns, which is kind of nice. Not really something dependable. Oh, no. I forgot. Well, I guess we're just going to the next level. I'm not going to be able to showcase the realm in between time, the bazaar in between time, because I forgot I... Oh, no, I did do it. Excellent. Okay, cool. So, time is now paused. We got this little bazaar. That's what we got from activating the Newt. It can also happen randomly, sometimes at the end of the level. So, yeah, there's this dude over here. We've got a couple of places where I can sack 5 green items to get this item. Or I can sack 3 blue items. Again, it wouldn't be of my choice. Anything that scraps items, 3D printers consume an item of a tier to generate an item, and these things as well. It will pick them as random. However, you can run into a scrapper in the level, which you can intentionally scrap items, and it will give you a scrap piece of that tier. Basically, it's an item that does nothing, except that when you do use something that consumes items, it will use the scrap first. So it gives you a little bit of control over what happens. The whip here is out of combat movement speed, which is nice. If I could choose what gets sacked, I would do it, but I'm not going to. This, we could choose what our next level will be, but I don't really understand what they are, so I might not interact with them. And then these lunar items all have positives and negatives with them, which is weird. But I think there's some... I haven't identified them all. You have to pick them up first time to identify them. I'm just a little bit worried about YOLOing one of these and having something bad happen. You know what? Let's give it a try. What is this weird arm thing? Strides of Heresy. Okay, well, we'll take it. Replace utility skill with Shadow Fade. Okay, so I no longer have my dash forward. I think there is an achievement for finishing the game with all 3... What the fuck? Items that have Heresy in the name. Yeah, so I don't know if that has helped me at all. I really do like my dash. My assumption here is that I'm invisible while that's going on, so it is kind of a good evasive thing. I don't know. Anyways, probably more that I could have done there. There's probably some people going, oh my god, you've totally missed out on a great opportunity. Okay, can I use my dash to sort of move up? No. Okay, I'm just invisible and moving on my own. So I no longer have it as a speed increasing thing. I also no longer have it as a mobility aid, which is too bad. Well, we just entered hard on the timer, which definitely feels a little bit harder. I'm going to miss my dash so much. I think for most people consider the lunar items to be kind of not worth it most of the time. And I can kind of believe it. Now, this is a 3D printer for this Will-o'-the-Wisp. Killing an enemy, spawn a lava pillar. I mean, that's quite cool. It would require sacrificing some green items. How do I feel about that? You know what? Kind of okay. There you go. Leech Seed, which was a good healing item. We'll do that, and we'll make some more. I'll sacrifice as many green items as I've got to make these lava pillars huge. I think that consumed one for it. Am I just down to just these? No, we do have another green item. It is random which one it takes. Isn't, like, we've got... Oh, maybe the Queen's Gland doesn't count. All right. Oh, that's fine. So now when we kill enemies... Lava pillar? Okay. All right. Cool. Oh, yeah, this is not a dash anymore. I'm using that a lot when I don't mean to. What we really need still is crit items, especially since the main ability I chose. We really need the glasses. I think I'm going to YOLO the question mark. Now, of the normal items, as far as I know, there's no bad item. Like, there's nothing you wouldn't be like, oh, I wish I hadn't picked that up. Other than multiplayer, because sometimes you're like, oh, I wish I'd given it to, or let one of my allies take it instead. That is explosive, and I just attacked on automatic here. This level sucks. I hate navigating it, especially without my my ability to sort of teleport upwards slightly. See, and the jump across these gaps is also really useful. Alright, that's lots of money. And this. Grab a sticky bomb, so now we can explode people. See, I think I would have been able to teleport across this gap previously. Okay, the cooldown on this is short. I will give you that. You can also jump up using that little jump pod there. I guess I'm happy for the energy drink now for the increased sprint speed. So I definitely want to clear more of these little explosives before I engage the boss. These are activatable items of equipment, which I already have one, so I don't know if it's worth spending. I'm just looking, first of all, for these pods. And secondly, just in case there's another lootable. These are also, I think, equipment? I'd be wrong, because like the rare tier and the equipment tier both have sort of this reddish-orange thing going on. Yeah, fires a black hole, yeah. That's annoying, and then there's another one here, which is just more items. I don't know what the credit card is. I don't know what that is. Instantly heal for 50% of your max health. That's cool. Maybe I should grab one of the question mark items just to identify it later. Even if it might turn out to be a waste of money. We got some sort of rocket launcher. Disposable missile launcher. Alright, that sounds like fun. Let's just use that. Alright, let's activate this. So, we're on hard difficulty. Fire the missiles! What I really want is the, what's it called, like backup magazine or something like that. Like an extra ammo pack, which gives me extra charges on my right click, which on some characters is meaningless. On this character is actually quite good. I'm just gonna run around for a sec to hopefully break some aggro. Maybe get some heal going on, get my cooldowns back up. Oh, I think there's a like a minigunner like shooting me here. Come back over here. Drop the right click. Drop the R. Go stealthy for a second. My Q's back. Kill you off. My beetle guard's nearly dead. I think he comes back to life. I think it says something like every 30 seconds. Ignition tank, so my ignitions deal extra damage. That's nice, because I do have a gasoline. I'd like some more. Beetle guard's going a million miles away, but alright, that's fine. I like taking the R sometimes, just take a beat to note my surroundings. I mean, you can still be shot in the air, but it does tend to make it harder. Some of these enemies are strictly melee. It does give you a nice big view. But that's mine. Just got resummoned, so that's a bad guy one. Okay. Well, I'm happy for the boss killing bullets. I think that made a big difference. I'm not happy that I don't have my dash anymore. Although, who knows? Maybe it paid off. So we got some lootable over here. Siren's Call Graveyard. Ooh, and we've got a jump up top. Oh, and a Blood Shrine. Let's use the Blood Shrine immediately. So we're going to sacrifice 50% of HP and get that much gold. And then it'll reset itself to be a 75% one, which we might just camp out here and use it again as a quick way to get some money. So one thing I have to do some reading about is finding out if there's an optimal way to, like, have more enemies spawn more faster. All right, let's trigger that again. So now I have lots of money. That is dangerous to do if there's some enemies nearby, obviously. Oh, and there is something now flinging stuff. But, wait, where's that chest we spawned by? Right there. There's you. Rapidly heal outside of danger. Okay. I really need crowbars. I need crit sunglasses. I need all the crit synergy items. You know what? You're kind of annoying. I'm going to fire my missiles at you. And ignore those mines. I think that thing does have like the 97 or something like that. Maybe 93% health sacrifice now. 93%. I don't think I'll use that currently. Although there's another Blood Shrine there, which is going to be back at 50%. Let's use that one. And I might use the 75% variant too. Oh, it's kind of bad news bears. We got some healing pods though. Man, oh man, these things have gotten tough. And yeah, without any... Oh, shite, that was a lot of damage. Okay, fire the missiles, go into stealth mode. Hope those arrows hit that guy. Okay, I don't think I'm going to end up using this Blood Shrine. Things are feeling a little too hairy. And I got tons of money now, so... Okay, well, attack speed is a way to improve our damage. That's something. That's the healing chest. Okay, a lotus for the teleport. This little red area around me is, I think, the that crystal of enemies within close range take extra damage, which I'd rather them not get to close range. Fire the rockets. Ooh, okay, those guys exploding is not very pleasant. Okay, we got some item shit over there. Now, unfortunately, I can't use my little teleport to arrest my downward motion. There's not much fall damage, but it definitely exists. What is this? Killing an enemy, permanent health. You know what? That sounds like a good... Oh, I didn't realize you were still chasing me. Jesus. Okay. I wonder if I scrap the item later. Oh, jeez! Why am I getting my butt kicked? I think this is the healing one. Let's trigger this shrine here. Oh, it's one of those guys again. Flaming skull assholes. Oof. I wonder if I should go... And those assholes. We're hitting a lot of enemies that deal a lot of damage. Missiles. The flying bird things don't seem especially good either. Am I back from the start? Yeah, I've definitely used that Blood Shrine before. Okay. I don't know if I went up this way. Fuel cells. Okay, so I can get faster recharging and extra charges on my equipment, which isn't bad. Oof. Rusty key, so I can open a fancy, or a rusted chest if I find one. Come on. Okay. Detonate enemies on kill. Oh yeah, that's the wisp I already had. Okay, here's the teleporter. I have some money. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna activate the teleporter, activate the missiles, go into R mode here, and die. Okay! You know, 20 minutes, that's not bad for me, actually. What did we have in here that actually increased our damage? We had this one for bosses, this one for enemies that were close, which I don't know how much damage this is. Maybe this is meaningful, I don't know. And I mean, the gasoline does help as sort of an AoE clear, although what we're really having problems with are those elites. We do get some attack speed here, to be fair. Other than that, and again, more AoE clear if we're killing things. The problem is we didn't have enough single target punch. I really like the ignition tank, like that, plus the gasoline obviously is good, and there's other ways to ignite things. Oof. I think that could have gone better. On the other hand, yeah, this is sort of the length of my runs. There you go, Risk of Rain 2. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people have already played this. A lot of people are like, I can't believe you haven't gone around to playing it before. But I figured I'd do the video, especially since it's currently on sale on Steam. So if you want to look for something that's kind of fun to play single player, and also great co-op, then there you go. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go and record a second episode right away. I am going to show off the Engineer. I'm wondering if I should play on easy. No, I'll play on medium. It's going to be fine. We'll show off the Engineer in a follow-up run in a video right after this one. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye-bye.